Virtus.Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Virtus.Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team.
Well, hello everyone and welcome back. We are now into game number 2 of Star Series Season 13. It's day 2 of Phase 2 action. OG taking on Virtus.Pro, and wouldn't you know, we are going into game 3 hype. Virtus.Pro put out a pretty nice draft, and well, they executed pretty damn well. We obviously put a lot of emphasis into the early part of the draft where they had the obvious heavy team fight, Darkseer combos, and well, we got to see it go to work. Highlight worthy in itself, and with that big near team like Roche fight, they were able to kind of take over, and OG were not able to stop them. It could have been OG just being a bit greedy with their draft, and we'll have to see how they change things up, but it looks like not much has changed already. First pick Doom is in order here. And we'll see how it's going to go. This is Cattle Guy Course from Beyond the Summit. And again, I'm going to be joined remotely from hopefully a not too static Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance, welcome back, my friend. Here we are in the game number 3. Virtus.Pro have done it with Silent for their first win together. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to pull out an upset. You got to remember, Claire, this is very important for OG. They've already played all their series, and with if they don't get a win in this series, they're at risk of being moved into the lower bracket, and nobody wants that.
Nobody wants the lower bracket, Coddle.
No.
Nobody.
It's scary there. I'm not sure what it is for Starladder, but you know, best of ones are never a treat for teams, I imagine. But here we have Doom again. This is gonna be the third time, Claire, that we're gonna see OG grab up the Doom, and possibly gonna be the Moon Doom once more. Virtus.Pro get a Starladder gyrocopter combo, the classic style of gyrocopter. But OG again are going to be going for the Winter Wyvern. Not a team to go for like the Lich, which used to be the common duo. But what happened, Claire? What happened to Lich and Doom? It used to be, you know, like peanut butter and jelly, but no longer a thing.
It really did used to be peanut butter and jelly, actually. I think OG just think better of it and say Lich. You know, in terms of the game of Dota, so to speak, Wyvern just provides a lot more functions, a lot more control, a lot more presence, being able to push out lanes. While it is a very, very strong defensive support, it does leave an opening in your lineup where you have to craft your next 3 picks carefully. And I think if they had something like a Shadow Fiend, they would have definitely gone for that option because they have these aggressive cores that scale so hard. But for the time being, you know, you have Starladder and Gyrocopter on the other team, and Starladder is always a super scary force in and of itself. Although Gyrocopter, I don't think so much. I personally think Doom is like one of the best heroes against Gyrocopter because the Doom's philosophy is you have this one button click that can counter an entire buttload of net. Gyro just happens to be one of those heroes. You want to stack that net worth on yourself and be able to close out the game going high ground with like an item or 2 advantage. Doom really hinders that process. So we'll have to see how VP take this approach here for the remaining of the picks, because their first 2, or their preferred 2 from the last game, Ancient Apparition and Darkseer, both banned out.
Yeah, it's gonna be scary. I don't know. I mean, the AA did a lot of work setting up with that huge team fight in Ice Blast, but I don't know if it was like just all him the reason why the Doom wasn't able to do the Doom thing, but they still have a lot of potential setup to work with here. Dazzle is probably the first prominent support option that's out there right now and could work out pretty damn nicely with Virtus.Pro if they wanted to do it here. You get the benefit of having all that armor synergy, of course, with Starladder, and I'm sure Gyrocopter wouldn't mind being able to get out a few extra flat cannon shots with the help of a Grave, so it's probably going to be something that Virtus.Pro do look to go for here. But
honestly, I think OG also wanted Dazzle. I'm not sure if you've been like just looking out for every pick detail kind of. lately, like Wyvern Dazzle, that's like the spice, the flavor.
Really?
Yeah, everybody's been choosing for it. And honestly, it's like this support duo of Dazzle Wyvern. It's so defensively strong. Like the way it turns fights is incredible because you either have the Grave or Cold Embrace or even just the heal coming out that can bomb you and do damage to you,
Yeah.
like sort of like Necrofrost, Death Pulse style. It's just something you don't expect a lot of times to have the kind of impact that it does. And most teams, they'll just keep running their heroes into them and be like, hey, why can't we kill their heroes? Why are we not winning these fights? We have all these team fight abilities. There's the Dazzle on the other team now, so it pushes away the dreams of attaining both heroes on the same team, but nevertheless, it's a combo to be feared.
I definitely can see, you know, what we were saying and how it can be very scary, and I've seen many times firsthand teams try to break through these powerhouse supports and not giving them the respect they deserve on being able to just kind of keep the team alive and have that longevity to the fight. But you would think that the natural reaction would be, and like let's say Virtus.Pro didn't go for Dazzle and got something else as a support instead, and OG grabbed the Dazzle, and you see a Wyvern Dazzle combo, like, is it just not as easy as it once was to recognize, okay, these are two very, you know, pretty defensive kind of supports? I suppose maybe like a Sonika Wyvern used to be a bit of a problem in the mid lane back in the day, but couldn't you punish them laning phase-wise that they're not able to offer a lot offensively? Or maybe you get like a greedy jungler. Like, what if they got like a greedy jungler respond to like a Wyvern Dazzle who's not one to really roam around too much? Is that just not an option like it once was, or maybe something teams should consider more if there is going to be a defensive duo like that?
I feel like thing with the greedy jungler thing, it's somewhat of an obsolete term now because the pace of the games develops so fast to the point where it has to be like, if it's greedy, it has to be like greedy for the right reasons. It can't just be like greedy you scale better with like a when, you know, you're one of your pub jungle legion commanders coming out with like a 10-minute shadow play. It can't be one of those.
Yeah.
It has to be something like a Furion that utilizes the jungle as another lane. Still he can be a force, and Furion of course can be a force at any given time in the game, especially like from minutes 5 where it can just pour it in behind you. I personally think the best way to deal with it is actually just of course you want to ignore fights. Silencer. Anytime you want to take a just stop the support cast from casting spells, it'd be a really good thing for them. Rubik is somewhat of a decent option if it were the case, and of course this time you can steal many things. Slaughter Amp, you can steal Grave, Heal, Tuskar spells are generally good too. But it's just like this meta. It's like you have to really pick and choose your fights. You know, recalling last game, remember the huge wombo combo coming out in front of Pit with the Ancient Apparition, Darkseer, and the Disruptor. You have to be really careful because once you get caught out in those situations, as we saw, the game just went completely the other side from that point on.
Yeah, I agree with you. We saw it. Exhibit A. But
we did see it, yeah.
It's just
we might see it again later, as you said, man. That's a highlight-worthy moment, right?
I loved it. That's you love when you see paintings or like a nice choreographed dance just kind of be performed beautifully. It's like
art in its finest form.
It's Bob Ross, yeah. It's there it is. Beautiful, happy gank, happy team fight for them, and it just works out wonderfully. But here we see OG reaching back again for the PL. This is the third straight PL game, third straight Doom game. Dude, Virtus.Pro. Obviously, this time maybe going for something like the Ember, unless G has played Ember in the mid lane or a Gyro in the mid lane. Probably going to be passed over again, but do OG dare go for it once more in hopes that maybe a run back is something that would be better for them? Just seems like OG has a bit of confidence here, rolling with the same kind of set of cores for the third time straight.
Yeah, but you know, I think this is definitely a really good PL pick here. PL, of course, sort of fell off because he was very susceptible to aggressive duel lanes, especially in the form of like Darkseer +1. Just didn't have enough sustain. But you know, looking at this now, VP actually that's a ridiculously good pick. I was thinking what was gonna happen was they're gonna opt for the Ember. Of course, didn't work in game 1, but it has a better chance of working here, I guess, because OG don't have that much damage aside from Doom to kill an Ember Spirit. Then I thought OG would pick up Invoker or something for Miracle. Wex Class Invoker is really good against Ember, not just because of the natural item progression coming out of Orcs, but also when you Tornado an Ember Spirit, it just dispels the Flame Guard right away.
Yeah.
So, and it's like a really nifty counter. But Virtus.Pro, they recognizing that OG don't have that much damage. The support cast, they have fixed amount of damage coming out. the second spells on respect arrows.
Mhm.
PL, of course, it's just not enough of a damage dealer with illusions to burn through a regen coming out of chemical rage. So this is again like an Alchemist, one of the better picks against Doom for sure. A really nice pick, and I'm curious what the OG are gonna do. I'm thinking maybe Viper because they seem to.
It
run
was
it against
banned,
them.
so I was gonna say his brother in crime, who kind of fits the same profile. What about something like a Razor, another lane dominator who can maybe sap up the damage a bit from this Alk who wants to be in the nitty gritty, or
Yeah, and
maybe back to the
it's a
Invoker.
nice hero against Grave too, right? Because you can most of the time if they're staying alive and you say, hey, all right, 3 more like damage.
they're gonna go back
just
for
gonna
the
go for the
Invoker.
Invoker again. So a classic matchup with Alchemist and Invoker at mid. One that I favor Alchemist pretty heavily. This is Miracle. You know, 8,000
He is
MMR.
AKMMR.
Yeah,
If you
that
haven't
usually
heard from
has
the
a
whole
bearing on
freaking
things, you know?
yeah, the whole world hasn't let you know already. But his Invoker game 1. I know you weren't here for game 1, but you watched a bit of it. But it was ridiculous. You mentioned its capability of being able to dispel the Flame Guard. Well, we didn't just see it from his own Tornado. He even got a Yules that game just to really piss off the Ember Spirit.
Oh,
that
he went
time,
Wex
and
Boss with Yules?
Yes, he did.
That's
It
very
was-
old school.
That's something special, and he
Yeah.
definitely just really became a nuisance running about. He had so much move speed with it as well. It was
Yeah,
just
man.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
just a race car around the map. You're moving at 322 to 522 in an instant.
It was
Phase
wonderful.
boots. It's a very nice build.
All right, though, this is going to be the ultimate test. It's game 3 now. One of these two teams is going to be walking away with the extra points, the extra credentials to be in a better spot for the next round here of Star Series Season 13. Get one step closer to that sweet LAN, and
Is that why you asked me earlier?
that's what the guy says, so I just can't help myself. They clearly hired some voiceover guy to like read the script. He's like playing the data file LAN finals now for 300,000 US dollars. It's like, oh
man.
boy.
You know what
It's
you reminded
hilarious.
me of when you said that is you know that Friends clip with Joey, and actually I shouldn't talk about this episode on there, but like it was like when he was babysitting I think it was someone's baby, I think Monica's baby or something like that, and he said you can't have SEX beside the BABIE or something like that. Oh, Friends, that was a legendary show.
Most of the people watching probably don't even know what that show is. They're so young.
You know what?
Also-
Now that you mention it, yeah, it's like.
I mean, I'm
oh.
there with you.
It's not that old, but it might be actually current generation.
You know, they don't know. They're like listening to Tupac, but they didn't even experience being on the same planet as him. You know, at the same time.
It's like
So-
it goes from Tupac to Drake. There's nothing between.
Yeah, really is not. I guess, but here we go. Already early matchup. Of course, the Alchemist, the Invoker, and everybody's got their support staff nearby to ensure a bit of a easier laning stage. Lil kind of on hand, and you also see Crit playing his now becoming famous Rubik here. Where would you? Now hold on. What is this? Look at VP. They're just going right in. They're like, we know you jungle. You did it last time, and we're not going to let you do it again. This time we brought a Tusk. And Moon is like, oh, I don't like this. He's getting muscled back quite a bit. He's going to have to chew through some early bits of Tango. And they'll just fly on through. They just don't want to ensure he has as easy of a time as he did last time. So I'm happy to see Virtus.Pro adapting. And look at this. Even Crit. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, Miracle! I think he's actually gonna die.
Oh,
He has
say
Cold Snap.
so. He has to use it. Oh, that little swordsman. Cancel that salve. Yeah, nice. But not going to be enough to kill him, unfortunately. Miracle steps back and away. Oh, only has one Tango left for Cher, and it's on cooldown, so he might have to be trouble. And because there's an acid spray, and yeah, he's not going to be able to get close too comfortably.
This matchup is like extremely Alchemist favored. Invoker, of course, if you go X-Word, you just don't have enough sustain, and if you go Vex Quas, at one point you just won't have enough damage. Like, as soon as Alk hits about level 4 to level 6, he'll just start running over the lane, and you can't stop the CSing. Most of the time, they'll buy Boots and Quelling Blade early as well. And again, like, the acid damage, along with the Quelling Blade, you won't get a last hit over him anyway.
No, definitely not. And 2-minute rune. G, he's hoping for a bounty. He gets a regen. Sad face. Bottom lane is going to be the bounty, and it's going to be snagged up from Crit. And we saw before, you know, Phobos, it's going to be a hard lane for him. You know, the Curse, long-range harassment, following up with a Spirit Lance, and we know OG just love these freaking off-lane dual lanes here, but back at mid, that's where action's breaking out. Cold Snap onto G, running around the corner here, trying to make himself away. Not going to get the extra assistance. Oh, from FNG as he does not have a level yet into any sort of heal or grave. But Doom taken down under the tower. Just kind of
Yeah, it was a nice shard coming in from Tusk, and then Silent just following up. Unfortunately, they didn't actually get kill credit, so they split it amongst themselves, but nevertheless, a kill is a kill.
They got Miracle. Speaking of kills, more of them going down. Mid lane, Miracle drops. FNG's the trade. Can he get the... no, he'll be using it on himself. Crit. Happy to just hide behind the trees to make it back in a way, but look who creeps in from the ass side. Yeah, Lil. Easy finish off right there. It's been a great series for Lil so far. Beautiful setup, you know, in the last game with his Disruptor, and he's already off to a strong start in this Tusk, just really making his presence known. Hasn't really resided in a lane yet, but he is already level 3.
I'm a little sad that I don't get to see his Visage, because this is the guy that plays Visage at the middle line in matchmaking.
Yeah, you're right. I heard
Still,
about
as you said,
his
playing
dirty
amazing on all these
EU
other
pub
heroes.
plays. But you don't have Illidan anymore. You don't have your Drow player, so...
Silent can play Drow. I'm sure. I mean, come on, that hero. 12 minutes on that hero, and then
you
just,
figure out how
like,
it works. Yeah.
You're done.
Oh, top lane. Moon in trouble here. Snowball forward from Lil. They get the shard. A brief block, but he pops the Scorched Earth, and he's happy to go toe-to-toe with Silent here.
Meanwhile, at bottom.
What is happening in this game? Bottom lane now. Dive way behind the tower. Is crit. They get the crush off. He is going to get the kill. He will end up going down. No Tail trying to make it away. Oh, he doppelganger away from the tower attack. And he'll be fine. I thought he was going to try to go for one last auto attack there, FNG, but doesn't go for it now. Puts his attention on the fly. He is out of mana, so he can't even heal up any further. And all the meanwhile, Duke got the kill on Tusk in the top lane. Clairvoyance, what the hell's happening here?
Yeah, so the Doom died to the Tusk dive, and then the Tusk was tower, and he died to the tower. So at this point, we're going full 3-2-2 Russian Dota.
Okay, wonderful. Because it feels like it. They're like, I'm like waking up. Last game was a bit more predictable, a lot to farm, and you know you can kind of read out where things are going to be playing, and you know emphasis by the Roche at times. But now it's just a bar brawl right now. And as you can see, it continues mid lane, just jumps over the ledge. Get over here, Miracle. Not going to grab him, though. Beautiful telekinesis lift from Crit, and they're going to turn the tables onto Lil, and they got him. He goes down. Persistence from OG.
You know, the funny thing about this is, like, every time there's an engagement, there's always, like, 3 heroes or something. How are these heroes always at the right places at the right times is completely beyond me, but they're making it happen.
Like, teleporter hacks here, and they don't have cooldown. They just keep buying them and somehow showing it up when the fight's breaking out. FNG just took a long walk from bottom to get here. He feels like something's going to break out, and he wants to be here just in case. And you can say the same for Carnage, aka Crit, waiting up to the north. He's like, something's going to happen. I don't want to go too far. They're going for G, and good thing FNG happened to just, you know, roll over. He'll be there to assist G, but the second they see G, like, turn around, they're like, something ain't right, and they all pull back.
This is a nice addition. I think he's probably going to do Miracle build here with the Solar Crest along with the SNY, Blink, whatever those initiating / fighting items are. Not Radiance at the end of the day. Sobi Mask. I'm not too sure how many people have mentioned it in the past, but Sobi Mask is really good on Alchemist because the Chemical Rage gives you a flat value on the mana regen. Sobi Mask gives you 50% on that. So it actually lets you skip bottle sometimes if you're not even mid. Really nice. Call down, missing
yeah, they're trying to get a hold of Moon here. Call down, misses.
Oh.
The shard, not quite close enough to make it a full block, but it does get Lil into the action here, and it's going to force out the Doom on the Silent. Silent doesn't eat too much Scorched Earth and tower damage and risk being taken down, so I'll step back and away. Bottom lane, OG are kind of moving on in. I do appreciate, you know, us continuing the old man trend from friends that you call the Sobi Mask, not just the Sage's Mask.
Oh.
Like Melk in the sense that you're always so persistent. He's always so persistent.
I forgot.
I remember it as a Sobi Mask as well, so I also miscall it at times, but then you have people like Melk who just will never change, and they're like, they'll never call it Dazzle. He's like, the Chateau Priest. Like, okay,
that's pretty good. Yeah.
But
you know, Alchemist is a Razzle Dark Brew or something like that.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Alright, so there's Razzle that's farming up the all Dark Brew and everything.
He is doing the Miracle build. There's a nice little nod there. He's got the medallion already. We'll see if he goes for the mobility plus the Solar Crest. So, certainly wouldn't be surprised. Is the old poor man's Naga build just kind of not the thing, not the cat's pajamas? Well, I'll have to hold that. Top lane, Moon's in trouble. Rolling deep. Again, Scorched Earth and its mighty regen will keep him fine and well, and they'll be able to sidestep away from that. But over here, you see G now in trouble, getting caught out between No Tail and Miracle. There's going to be a Tornado, Spirit Lance. He's done for. No Tail picks up that one, and before we're saying that everybody was at the right place at the right time, but now not Virtus.Pro. No one was mid lane to help out in that one, and FNG unfortunately had a TP on cooldown, so he couldn't get there to help out.
Yeah. I do want to touch upon the poor man's Naga thing, but I might have to hold that thought. If Lil does get lanced, he will probably die here.
Oh man, it just doesn't stop. Oh, he's going to be forced to snowball, which No Tail says, that's fine, buddy, come out here. Did it on the illusion, but oh, it doesn't matter. He's going to be slowly swarmed on and dead. Nice, brilliant KS coming in from crit. Right in the face.
Flank picking up 5 out of the pros.
Nice.
Circle's still farming up mid, harassing probably with the cold snap as I can... Yep, there it is.
He's going in there, wants to swing with a bit, but nothing should come of this, I imagine. He's holding the concoction for now, so he'll be good. But
so if there is a moment, though, I do want to touch upon that.
please do.
With the Naga thing, it's like the thing with Naga is once you get the Radiance, of course it's much slower, but you already start with basically a Manta, and you also create space for yourself by being able to skip. And I'm gonna have to hold that thought again. No Tail.
This is ridiculous. He's in there trying to doppelgang out from too much trouble. Moon doesn't have the luxury, so he will be going down. There's a grave to save Silent, but they might need to coordinate a deny here. Or a snowball.
Nice.
We're gonna wait this one out. Can they do it? Oh, they can. Oh, they can't. No, damn it again. Crit is there. Right place at the right time. Rains on their parade with a brilliant fade bolt. He will lose his own life, but he's like, worth. Got that kill. Much worth.
with the little top off of the laughter there with a
It's both times too. It's just got it. Oh,
you know the thing was if one more creep died in the area that he was at, he would have gotten level 6, and that was a World Dota play in the making. He would have picked up a spell steal, probably stolen like Grave or Snowball or something like that, and it would have been clutch. But unfortunately,
it would have been a highlight clip with terrible tech music, I'm sure. Yeah, it would have been.
Man, what's wrong with you?
I know. I used to make those videos. People used to they look at that stuff now and they Dota cringe, and I can't.
No, they don't understand what's good.
That used to be high skill stuff. 3 raises straight, you were a pro.
You were Yapits, man.
You were Yapits at that point. But
that's great stuff.
Oh, mid lane could be in a bit of trouble. Virtus.Pro turning it up and maybe want to get this mid tier 1 tower. They are a Roche kind of lineup, so maybe they feel you get rid of this tier 1 mid lane and it becomes harder for OG to kind of rotate in and contest a Roche. Or not. They're just migrating all the way through and making some work happen here on the bottom lane. So as we switch over to the net worth here, Claire, it's no surprise to see Alchemist at the top, but he doesn't seem as far ahead as an Alch should be. Am I mistaken in that?
No, I think you normally expect maybe 1,000 or 2,000 more on the Alchemist usually at this point. I do think it's also a product of a lot of fights as well as one death that he has. You know, he has been getting with bounty runes, if I recall correctly, as well. He's been getting like a lot of regens, illusion here and there, but he finally got one bounty that was just it's pretty nice.
It's pretty damn absurd.
I would say so.
Oh,
and
here they go. They want to party. Look at the charge of concoction with the snowball, but the tornado will come on out with a beautiful Winter's Curse from Fly. And now it's G in trouble. He gets pulled back, gets the grave save, but I don't think he's going to get out of there. Can they escort him out? He has not been escorted yet. It's a lance, and look at back the other way, Clairvoyance. Another snowball as VP want to re-engage. They're going to get the kill on the Fly. Doom kind of stuck in a rut here between 3. We'll be able to back that one away. Gets the Doom on the Silent, but he is not going to be going down from that one. It's a 1-1.
There's 2 acid sprays. 2 ripples of death. One from crit and one from the Alchemist.
And everybody's confused.
Yeah. Getting minus armor, whereas should have an indicator. Hey, he's also got a medallion to combat the extra armor coming out of Alchemist, so pretty nice pickup. They almost got that kill, as we saw, to the tail end of it. Back and forth, and in the end turned out to be all bait for his gyrocopter. Came in with a big call down. Probably could have picked up more, but it's good enough. They saved their
Oh,
offense.
Miracle! It's that time of game again. Haha! I'm the magician. See you later. Walk away as he dies. How disgusting are you? Ugh. Now they have this to worry about. Look, he's going for the Yules again, Claire. He's doing it again.
I think, you know, it's definitely like if the Tusk is no. Just not sure. Besides that, like I'm wondering, like what kind of purpose it might serve. Maybe as an extra mini tornado type of thing, disrupt the flow of the enemy's lineup. But going straight Orchid shouldn't be a problem this game. I feel like he can just run into them and do exactly what he just did to the Dazzle. Except if there was another hero, he could Orchid them upstat as well.
Yeah, but you don't get to run around as fast with an Orchid. And
That's true.
he looked like he was having way too much fun in game number 1. And well, he is AK. We're not. So maybe he just knows something that we are not onto yet. But I agree. I feel like you could get by with an Orchid and be able to get the job done. And
Yeah,
see,
but
though,
it was a
stalking
core
them.
item in the past for a reason, though. So I definitely don't doubt it or disrespect it. Silence in a little bit of
putting
trouble.
it to work. Yeah, he is just boom. All mana gone, or the urn not going to be enough to finish him off, or will it? He's barely holding on. There's going to be the heal save, and this time Miracle may be in a bit of trouble. Get some nice help. Crush was actually stolen there from Crit, but Miracle, he's still running. He's hustling. Oh man. Oh, gets bopped on the back of the head. He will be going down to DK Phobos. Crit, meanwhile, hiding in the trees. Looks like they won't see him. Luckily, Lil shot the shards off the other direction. All this happens, Moon still gets to continue to farm up the top lane, and he is going early into the utility here. He gets a Vlad's right off the bat on his Doom.
Yeah,
No,
interesting
no early
choice.
greed.
Not something I would have personally liked back in the day, but Vlad's now gives 2 to all stats ever since the change. In that sense, it's pretty nice. He's about to die.
Ow! Oh my goodness!
That's how.
Well,
Dire's top tower
there it is.
under
No
attack.
tail. Let's see here. He's farming up. OG, just in typical OG fashion. I always find them more frequently in their opponent's woods than a lot of the other teams. They just always can recognize when they have more map dominance and will just suck up more of the farm on the map while they can. Allow what they throw together seems to be a more greedy lineup than most like to do.
Dire's top
They can
tower
always
is
manage to
under
make it work
attack.
just by the fact that they can always recognize where the farm potential is and then just go suck it on up. In mid lane, you got Miracle doing stuff like this. Tornado, EMP, haha! And
Oh,
now,
that's a nice grave.
the grave, it will save him here, and Miracle's like, God damn it, now I gotta get out of here alive. And he might not. There's gonna be the shards, the rolling from Lil, they got the dust ready to go. In the meantime, here comes Moon though, and he's got Doom, and they don't like this. They back up and away, and his presence is more than enough to get Miracle out of a bit of trouble here.
Yeah. Nice return. As you said, all of OG just playing on the enemy side of the map, but we'll see if they get punished for it soon enough, because it is always dangerous to stay so deep, and Miracle got exposed for it last time. We'll see. He didn't get caught out this time, of course, his teammates, but it could very well happen. He got his heals coming now, though, so that adds to his survivability. Blink on Alchemist.
He's got his blink mid lane. We got a cold snap here on DK Phobos. Quickly turn back out. And G was hoping to put that blink to use in the mid lane, but Miracle was not going to pursue. And now they're hustling back through the woods again. Miracle trying to make a behind the back play here. He will see Lil. Lil will see him now, and they quickly dish out the Doom onto him. They're going to commit in. The cold snap, the damage to fly through here, and they don't have enough to save him. They're not looking to dish out the grave to save their Tusk at this time. And they will have to take the sacrifice. Meanwhile, Crit, your split pushing Rubik is going to do work on the bottom tier too.
Again, they didn't really need him for the fights because they have so much damage coming out of him. Time being. Actually, Crit punished for this one.
Oh, Crit is eating way too much damage here, and he just goes down. That flak cannon, you don't see it, really. He just all of a sudden is like losing chunks of life. But these little pea shooters are popping out, and Gyro's doing work. Now G moves in, gets a nice stun on the Fly, and Fly now going to be deceased.
Oh, Miracle.
Back the other way, Miracle now could be caught out here. They have the vision onto him, but he is a fast little man. And it looks like he'll be able to make it back and away, but he's still toying with him here. G sees him. He's cheeky.
It's about time he gets out. Minus 9 armor and counting leaf stacks. If he joins himself, he's probably gonna melt.
All right. Where
Let's
are we
just pick up
feeling?
this blink.
All right. Oh, wait. Who got their blink? I was looking for Crit to have it, but he's actually going 4-staff.
Phobos. Just finished it on the slaughter. It's gonna come to him
yes.
via courier now.
Very nice, very nice. With that ready to go, an SMY already in hand for Silent. We know about the blink in hand for G. Is it time for Virtus.Pro to take a fight? Is it time for them to put in some work? Are they at risk that OG could kind of just continue to play the economy game and be a bit of a problem here with Miracle kind of dancing around?
I think as much as they would really like to force a fight, it's like right now they can't. And one of the reasons is because this Invoker who's moving, as you said, so fast around the map is I never really know where he's gonna pop up. It's just doing so much work with his Tornado EMP combo, and Wex class Invoker traditionally known to be extremely disruptive in the fights. Even with the Alchemist not guaranteed to die against some of the aggression coming out, they just don't have the map control. They're gonna go for him here at mid, and this looks like a swift and easy kill.
Miracle assaulted and taken down right away. Crit is going to be the follow-up, it looks like. Oh, is still managing to etch him out from trouble. There, he's going to be going down. Silent will be able to grab him with a bit of flat cannon damage there, and now they're hoping to clean up a tier 1 tower in the mid lane. And it looks like they'll be able to get it. Nice successful 2-man pick. All the meanwhile, though, it's not going to come empty-handed here. It looks like OG are going to be able to take down the tier 1 tower at the top lane.
Oh, and another kill. Fly!
Oh, wow.
Fly giving up an extra kill. This is something I rarely see. He rarely gets caught out of position. That's gonna open up the doors to Roshan. Pretty critical death on him there for 30 seconds on Wyvern.
Now they move in and they will go ahead and go to work. Let's see here.
Wait till acid comes up. There it is. Minus 18 armor on Roshan. Oh man.
Uh-oh, though. We gotta... Oh, what a dodge with the snowball pullback. Not gonna catch on everyone here. They'll be fine. Aegis will be safely put into the hands of Silent, but look who's making a move already. DK Phobos gets up with the catch on to Moon. Long ball concoction going to be the follow-up, but they don't want to be overcommitting here.
There's a Yules.
Are they going to commit for it? Miracle dashing on in. There's going to be the curse onto G. No Tail gets still stuck on the high ground after doing his doppelganger. Re-engagement comes in from Lil, and now Silent begins to go to work. Now dominating, flat cannon flying out as a crazy spree. But Moon's going to be able to make it away under the TP, and the rest of OG are just not going to have any of it. They lose Miracle here. And Virtus.Pro, no casualties. Doom, not going to be enough to finish off Phobos. It's their time to charge on in and go for tier 2s.
Yep. And I'm not too sure if they'll get to it just because their creep wave is so weak for the time being. But it looks like if G does come in with his ultimate and full HP mana, they will be able to brute force it down, I think, with the... wow, nice crush.
Big crush in, catches out 2, and that means Crit's going to be going down, and Fly will be the secondary here. Cold embraces in the meantime, but it's back-to-back takedowns of him. And now he's going to make for an easy tier 2. Things just seem to be crumbling apart a bit here for OG. Well, Claire, it's either that or Virtus.Pro are suddenly doing something very, very right.
Yeah, definitely a mix of both, but DK Phobos going in with that initiation from a nicely planted ward. Just 2 heroes stacked on top of each other, both supports, both very critical right now in terms of controlling the fights. Really nice job by them, and of course I think the tier 1 bottom is their next objective. They should get that very easily with the Aegis behind.
Yeah. Trying to get you bumped up at the same bit, Claire, but I have you turned up enough. If your next convenience, and if it was possible to turn up your mic a little bit, that would be very helpful for me. So I'll let you take care of that. As they step back and away, you know, VP and company still holding on to their Aegis, maintain a solid pace here. They still have towers to claim up. Bottom tier 1 still standing. Tier 2 also going to be at the available here. Their money continues to boom up, pushing past the 5k net worth point. You're looking at Silent, who has his BKB nearly complete. This tower will definitely secure it. G with his SNY already done, so he's begun full fight mode at this point. And they just continue to really thrive. So what is the comeback plan now for OG to at least put up a respectable fight and not allow VP to just slowly take each tower one by one and just starve them out?
Honestly, it's the same plan that they had executed in the initial stages of the game, where they force fights and smart pickoffs and split push most importantly. VP is not a lineup that you can fight into right now. Between the Dazzle Starladder and the Alchemist, there's just too many targets to fight or do him up, and it's just not enough damage coming out as well. Because, as mentioned in the pre-draft, it's combo really needs to connect to be able to take down single targets. So they have to be very wary of VP's pushes, of course, but just keep the lanes pushed out, kind of what they had in the mid game and playing around the enemy's jungle. Except they just went too deep in it most of the time. Farm up the map, take it slow.
We'll see if they're going to be able to do that here. Moon opts for the minus at this point. Not happening. Fly tried to TP, but gets caught out from a sprinting Phobos. That's going to be the crush. He will hold things out in the meantime, but it only sets up an easier stun, and a smackdown coming in. Starladder's going to take that one, and Phobos is suddenly on a killing spree, and if we already thought he was mobile before, he's on pace for picking up a nicely timed Force Staff. And speaking of Force Staffs, Crit will finally finish off his. He's also a medallion holder for his team, but it's Virtus.Pro picking up another straggler.
Starladder, man. What a hero. Really. So strong.
Alright. Sorry, I'm still fiddling with audio things. I think I got it good now. Turn this one down, turn that one up, and everyone can hear the lovely voice of Clairvoyance now. Mid lane? Oh, Moon could be potentially caught out of position, but I don't know what Dazzle's going to be doing about it, but they have Phobos on hand, and it looks like they're just going to continue. Last outer tower standing for OG is this tier 2 in the top lane, and VP want to grab it here. Plant down firstly a ward to scout out anyone backing behind, but no one is there.
Yeah,
instead silent now, we'll go down mid.
They're actually going to go hunting. Going to try to chase him down. Fly's going to come in. Is he going to get caught for this, though?
They quickly turn back the other way. Oh, but they caught up. Got the vision. They snowball in. There's the crush and Fly for what feels like, what, the third, fourth time straight. He's going to be going down. And now Virtus.Pro immediately head back the other way. Want to continue their push.
Honestly, though, that was just a product of VP's high aggression as well as nice warding. Because they saw him just going through the high ground there, and they had the Ancients ward to scout him out. That's why the blink came in and the follow-up snowball, but...
Vacuum, or Tornado rather, EMP, pushes back Virtus.Pro a bit. I always get thrown off, but did you hear that sound as well? Apparently that's the new Aegis's expired sound, and I've only heard it for the first time today. And I freaked out the first time I heard it. It's like a little Dota heart like melody that comes out of nowhere.
Oh yeah? I missed it actually.
Yeah,
I was listening to the tornado sound.
It sounded very similar to like the dramatic chipmunk or whatever that thing is. Doo-doo-doo. You're like, what is that?
Well, I'll pay careful attention next time. I'd like to thank you for bringing that to my...
Yeah, well, the last game I had no idea. I freaked out. The viewers probably thought I was crazy, but plenty of people tweeted at me saying, "Oh, don't worry, that's the new Aegis has been, you know, expired sound." And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just deal with that. But there we go. Orchid
Not
now
an
in
act of
hand
God
for
or
Miracle.
anything coming into play, huh?
Yeah, right. I'm like,
all right.
Classic Reborn. Oh, Lil gets caught out now with a Winter's Curse. It's a lot of hate on one random Tusk. Goes in, blinks away. Have that Penguin. Miracle, though, looking to cut him off. EMP. Gets hit with a cold snap, but he gets a nice force save. And he is out from trouble.
Yeah, very nice Force Staff. Again, a really fantastic item. I think a lot of supports in general have been overlooking the power of the Force Staff ever since Glimmer Cape came out. Force Staff it's such a game-changing item. Ever since time. I think it definitely should be picked up more often. Not just on 3-position heroes, but 4-5 as well.
We'll take that.
I agree. It feels like a little bit of force has fallen off. I can't help, like, my initial reaction is because we also don't see a lot of like clockworks anymore, where Force Staff was like, you know, a requirement, but now it's like, oh, we don't really need to get it. But it's like, guys, Force Staff is pretty freaking good. May I remind you, MLG Columbus C9.
Oh yeah. The positioning, this positioning, like especially high ground pushes. Like I think the techies era really taught me how good Force Staff could be, because these techies that just hold the high ground, they just force you into mines, and you know, you're either hitting the buildings or dying to mines. Like, you don't have an alternative. Very strong item.
Yeah, that's also could be one of those like high risk, high rewards situations, is when they use a Force Staff offensively to push someone into your team in hopes that it capitalizes. Sometimes could be disaster, but sometimes could be game changing. I know we've seen like Universe pull out plays like that very often, and well, we'll see here. Virtus.Pro, it's time to knock on the OG door. We'll see if they can break on through here. OG on the verge of losing another series, 2 of their 3 series here for Star Series. And G eating a lot of bit of damage. Gonna be walking back and away here, but a commitment in. Uppercut on the Miracle, quick cold embrace. They get the pullback, curse on the Lil. Shards brings them together here, and Moon looks to engage, but it's Silent who's coming out the big victor now. Eats up that Doom, but not before he gets off some serious damage. Both Miracle and Moon going to be going down. Snag up from below, gets the snowball back as they look to re-engage. No Tail now, locked on down, gets the embrace to help him out. And OG looking to pursue out the front door here. They see a weak and wounded VP squad, but none of them dead. All of them pretty healthy still at this point. They could even re-engage.
Yeah, I think they should. The Miracle's down for 30 seconds. He only forced out one buyback, and chances are he doesn't because he finished up the Orchid. They're gonna go. Alchemist ulti's up. He has Blink. He has Stun charging up, and boom.
Stun on the Moon. Phobos swing and a miss though on his Crush, but tier 3 goes down, and G wants to go to work on the racks now, but might have to be a bit cautious here. His team's gonna be around to back him up. Miracle's going to be back in 5 seconds. How long do they want to stay? It looks like they might start creeping it back, but he's got the call down. Looks to commit in. It's a big catch and a big crush from Phobos. Gets the connection onto Crit's going to force out his buyback, and Moon is going to be going down. No buyback for him, out for over a minute. Here comes No Tail and also Miracle back from the grave now. How many of Virtus.Pro can they take down and make him pay for it here? Whoa! Tornado even catching on the Silent way in the back. And look at this, Crit is going to be going down the second time. Silent barely alive here. They doppelgang on forward for it, and he's able to sketch his way back into the trees. He's good for now. Up and above Phobos. Being chased out from Miracle here. Blinks out, does get hit. Cold Snap. Below, Silent. They're going to cross paths. It's going to be trouble. He's going to make it out down below, and Phobos is like, I'll pull him back the other way. Look at this. Silent makes his way, gets a TP. He's going to be gone. He's good.
Yeah. He even got the bounty on the retreat.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Finished up the butterfly in base now, and there's a nice assault Curtis waiting for G when he respawns inside the base.
That's delicious. And look at the damage they did. Tier 3, and the ranged racks, unfortunately for them, not the precious melee one, but it's respectable base damage. Do you think that that was worth it to VP? It felt like it could have been a bit more dangerous there at the end. They almost lost Silent, but is that good enough for them to now get back together, get these new items, and just kind of continue to go? I'm sure Roche is also something that's going to be up very soon and very important to both squads.
Yeah, I definitely feel that way. I think as this game progresses, it's only going to get better for VP, especially with the advantage they have now. But as you said, even though towards the end of the fight, it could have looked a lot cleaner for their escape, it's okay. They still got the big items that they purchased up on their cores, and most importantly, if you recall, like the initial stages of the fight, Moon Meander, I don't know if you had this frost armor going in. Each of Gyro's flat cannons, with the amp as well as acid spray, and I'm not sure if the solar crest was on him or not, did 400 damage. And this is the Doom that we're talking about. So imagine the supports that get into the 1000 range with the gyrocopter. They're just gonna melt.
It's hard to
It's really a big problem.
Black Cannon's one of those things that in the midst of a crazy fight, you don't even know you're getting hit before it could be too late. I'm sure for these pro players, they're keeping a constant check, but I mean, my goodness. Silence damage continues to build up, and the spread, as we know from a gyrocopter, is just so damn ridiculous. Now he's got the second life. You know, they made that siege happen without any sort of Aegis whatsoever. Now they have one, and they have those extra items. Oh, goodness. This is going to be real tough for OG. This is them now taking advantage of what farm they can. They're frantically moving it on out. We'll see where No Tail's progressing. It looks like a Manta is potentially in order for him, if not just a reliable Yasha into a future Scotty. But outside of that, it's what do we got here? We got, you know, Miracle with his Orchid Yules, and, you know, this time it's not going to be a fancy Agnum Scepter like it was in Game 1. He's got to build the extra utility that's not there at the moment from Doom. So he's got the Plate Mail, which could be a Shiva's, could be an AC. We'll see.
You did mention Doom. I didn't get to mention it last game as well, but I think this game his item choices are really good, or rather it's mandatory and necessary for this game. I think last game he picked up an Aghanim Scepter, which I felt like maybe with a BKB you could just go in, and to be able to doom up a Gyro, not in this situation because he has Aegis. If he wanted to ever find it earlier, he needed the BKB. Gyro's gonna take some damage, I think. Oh, Lil, he's out of mana.
Lil, he tried to go in and help with the snowball, I think, but he ends up losing his mana, and he's got to get the hell back. Silence says, don't worry, buddy, I got you, and starts running right into the base. They get Miracle down, and it's going to force out his quick buyback here, but No Tail's already breached into the back lines and may have to quickly 180 himself back into the base. Two-man Deafening Blast will keep them at bay. This is Miracle and his secondary life now. Phobos, big boy, going in there, gets a two-man crush. Will he pay with his life, though? Nice grave, will keep him alive for now. Lil commits on in. G already into the mix, is going to be doomed up, but they get the right-click kill onto Moon, and now it's silence time to begin rocket barraging them all down. Double kill for him. Miracle's down and out for the count. That was his buyback, and now it's No Tail in. What could be the final hurrah for OG as he's able to clear out at least one kill there, taking out Phobos. Now he doppelgangers back, is able to avoid the call down, and he is on the run, trying to pull them away from the base, but no! He will be going down. Over a minute for him on the sidelines here, and also a minute for Miracle. Claire, this could be the game, and it could be Virtus.Pro walking away with a big win over OG, and silence debut for the Virtus.Pro roster. They have done it.
Yeah, this is most certainly an upset, but what can you say? Throughout the entire stages of the game, barring the early, of course, with a couple shaky starts, they had a really good transition into mid game. After a couple one team fights, they just started taking towers, and again, OG's draft, I'm not sure if it allowed room to have Alchemist snowball against them, because they just don't seem like they have enough damage against the Dazzle, Gyrocopter, and Alchemist.
Well orchestrated drafts and game plan coming in for Virtus.Pro. We look forward to seeing more from them and their